Yesterday, Elon Musk took his son X to a press conference. I did not name the child. And I don't want to hear any more mess about our names, okay? Okay?
Oh.
Anywho, he took little X.
Funny. A little Instagram.
He doesn't own Instagram.
He doesn't own Instagram. He just took little X with him to a press conference in the Oval Office.
The internet is exploding right now after Whoopi Goldberg threw some major shade at Elon Musk's son, X.
I mean, why? What's going on? Anybody? I'll take it from anybody. What do y'all think is going on?
If you thought The View had already reached its peak with controversies, think again. This moment might just have crossed the line.
We don't have too many, but that one is a good one. Now I watched this rocket come down.
Musk, never one to back down when his family's involved, fired back in a way that's making headlines across the globe.
We need freedom of speech, and freedom of speech is only relevant if people are allowed, if people you don't like are allowed to say things you don't like. That is the only time freedom of speech is relevant. It can't be that the government is deciding what is or is not misinformation or disinformation, because then you get politics applying to those labels, and in fact, you simply get the suppression of freedom of speech. So really, I think wokeism is evil because it is racist, sexist, and anti-free speech.
His response, scathing. His call out, viral.
Paying for his stuff.
About SpaceX overseeing FAA?
No. You know that he's going to be cutting.
Yeah.
NASA.
Yeah.
That's the competition. So what is the real deal here? If we want to cut some money, let's cut some of these.
This isn't just about a name. It's about respect, accountability, and the unexpected battle lines drawn between one of the world's most powerful tech moguls and a major TV talk show.
Yesterday, Elon Musk took his son X to a press conference. I did not name the child.
If you haven't heard, Whoopi mocked Elon's 4-year-old son during a segment on The View, and let's just say it didn't sit well with Musk.
Retweeted something with Elon Musk, and people just dragged him and came for him and were like, how could you support this guy? I would just remind folks, we think of Elon as like the chaotic guy who tweets about politics on the internet.
This didn't just spark a debate over media standards, it turned into a full-blown showdown.
It happened to one of my older boys, where I was essentially tricked into signing documents for one of my older boys, Xavier. This is before I had really any understanding of what was going on, and we had COVID going on, and so there was a lot of confusion. I was told, Xavier might commit suicide if he did.
That was a lie right from the outset.
And of course, Musk made it clear, come after his family, and you better be ready for a fight. Before we dive deeper into the chaos that's unfolding, make sure to hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe to our channel, because you won't want to miss the twists and turns in this epic drama.
He took little X.
Funny. A little Instagram.
He doesn't own Instagram.
He doesn't own Instagram. He just took little X with him to a press conference in the...
It all started when Whoopi Goldberg decided to mock Elon Musk's son, X, during The View segment.
Well, honestly, I go back to minimizing, government intervention. In general, I'm very much in favor of small government, and that there shouldn't be incentives, tax breaks, or for anything at all. That would be like no incentive tax for anything at all. Whether it's that includes oil and gas, electric cars, nothing, no incentives for nothing. So.
She was talking about Musk's recent appearance at a press conference with his child in tow. Just a proud dad moment, right?
Well, you know that he's going to be cutting. NASA.
Yeah.
That's the competition. So what is the real deal here? If we want to cut some money, let's cut some of these. I'm okay with that.
Follow the money.
Because we have to pay for it. You are paying for everything he sends up that comes back down, that falls back down and breaks up. That's out of our pockets.
Not for Whoopi. She immediately began poking fun at the child's name, a name that's been ridiculed since it was first announced. Instead of acknowledging the wholesome father-son moment, Whoopi used her platform to undermine it. She smirked and sarcastically quipped about the name X and how the child didn't even know what Instagram was.
Free speech used to be a left or liberal value, and yet we see from, the in quotes left, a desire to actually censor, and that seems crazy. I mean, I think we should be extremely concerned about anything that undermines the First Amendment. There's a reason for the First Amendment. The First Amendment is because people came from countries where they could not speak freely, and where saying certain things would get you thrown into prison. And they were like, well, we don't want that here. And by the way, in many parts of the world, including parts of the world that people might think are relatively similar to the United States, the speech laws are.
What followed was a wave of criticism. Elon Musk, known for his fiery responses to criticism, wasn't about to let this one slide. Whoopi's comments didn't just mock his son's name, they targeted his family in a way that many saw as unnecessary and mean-spirited. Musk's supporters, and even some neutral observers, were quick to point out the line that had been crossed. Mocking a 4-year-old child isn't just rude, it's downright cruel.
Not every post I make is a banger. And I do shoot myself in the foot from time to time. But at least it's genuine. It's not some sort of PR department deciding things. So, if you're a normal human being and you speak freely, there are times when you will say things that you subsequently regret or are foolish, of course. But if you're constantly going through a filter, now you're not being real. So I think it's better to be real than to go through a filter.
Musk, ever the provocateur, immediately responded to the insult with a scathing tweet. He didn't mince words, calling out Whoopi and her co-hosts for their disgusting behavior. His tweet went viral in seconds, and it wasn't just about the name. It was about the broader issue of media figures using their platforms to bully and belittle.
You tweet a lot.
I use my tweets to express myself. Some people use their hair. I use Twitter.
Well, but you use your tweeting to kind of get back at critics.
Rarely.
You kind of have little wars with the press.
Twitter is a war zone. If somebody's going to jump in the war zone, it's like, okay, you're in the arena. Let's go.
Musk didn't hold back, accusing The View of being nothing more than a scripted show designed to push personal agendas. He didn't stop at a simple rebuttal. He called for accountability, suggesting that their network should face consequences for allowing such comments to go unchecked.
There are a lot of negative things in the world. There's a lot of terrible things that are happening all over the world, all the time. Lots of problems that need to get solved. There's lots of things that are miserable and kind of get you down. But life cannot just be about solving one miserable problem after another. That can't be the only thing. There need to be things that inspire you, that make you glad to wake up in the morning and be part of humanity. That's why we did this.
Elon Musk's response was calculated and strategic. He's a man who controls the narrative, especially with the power of Twitter at his fingertips. By calling out the show's lack of accountability, he not only hit Whoopi where it hurts, but also made it clear that this was a fight he was ready to escalate. This wasn't just about one comment, it was about setting a precedent. If you're going to take a shot at Musk's family, you better be prepared for the fallout.
So, are Americans going to be okay with Musk? Oh, okay. A guy nobody voted for, having all this kind of power. And the news outlet Wired found out that at least 6 of the gentlemen on Elon Musk's team are between the ages of 19 to 24 with little or no government experience, and one is in college. Who are these people and why do they have access to any of your business?
Well, they don't. What they're doing is actually illegal. Everyone knows that the separation of powers allows for Congress to decide. They have the power of the purse.
As expected, The View's producers and public relations teams quickly scrambled to put out the fire. Whoopi's comments, once just a casual remark, were now sparking a full-blown crisis. The backlash wasn't just coming from Musk's fan base, it was coming from all corners of the internet. Clips of Whoopi mocking Musk's son spread like wildfire, and viewers from all sides were chiming in. Some even began questioning how far the host would go in their pursuit of ratings and
There's a huge push from the
People like sort of like
to end this war.
say like, you know, I'm a bought asset of Putin.
Yeah.
I'm like, he can't afford me.
Yeah. I think you're worth more than Russia.
Think about it.
But here's the thing, when you take on someone like Elon Musk, there are serious repercussions. This is a man who with a single tweet can shift the entire media conversation. The View's host might have thought they were just making a joke, but the stakes were higher than they realized. The internet was not laughing with them, it was laughing at them. And as Elon Musk's tweets continued to gain traction, the hashtag #CancelTheView started trending.
A certain person, Donald Trump, was sworn back into the White House as the 47th president. Now, high-profile Democrats were in attendance along with Republican officials who all sat behind big tech oligarchs with the best seats in the House. Yeah, Trump gave a preview of what we're in for the next 4 years. Take a look.
It didn't take long for the tension to escalate. Joy Behar, one of Whoopi's co-hosts, jumped into the fray, not by apologizing or even acknowledging the backlash, but by doubling down on the mockery. Behar took things to a bizarre level, going off on an unhinged rant. She turned the conversation into a critique of Elon's life choices, suggesting that if he didn't want people talking about his child, he should have invested in better birth control.
Finland, kids in nursery school are learning to discern between fake news and real news.
Yeah.
They should be teaching that in this country.
Yeah.
Teach children tolerance, teach them to think critically.
Well, it would help if we could regulate social media, because one of the biggest offenders is D.C. and Congress have not been able to do one thing in regard to the rogue corporations of social media.
This wasn't just an attempt to defend Whoopi. It was an absurd off-the-rails tirade that caught everyone off guard. Even Whoopi seemed a little taken aback by the direction Behar was taking. The debate about a child's name quickly devolved into a strange, almost incoherent monologue about Elon's personal life. And let's be honest, when a show like The View drags a child into a discussion about his father's decisions, it's hard to take the host seriously.
For 2 weeks, we heard this idea that they spent $50 million on condoms in Gaza.
Right.
It's not even Gaza in the Middle East. It's Gaza in Mozambique. They didn't even know that.
And the number was wrong, too.
And then he goes on, Elon Musk goes on and said, well, I made a mistake. Meanwhile, you perpetuated the lie for the past 2 weeks, just like they did about these Haitians eating cats and dogs. Lies, lies, and more lies, and then it goes out there.
But it didn't stop there. As if mocking a 4-year-old child wasn't enough, Joy Behar went on to attack Elon Musk's spending habits. She questioned why he was even taking his son to public events, suggesting that Musk was too obsessed with himself to prioritize his child. This from a woman who spends her days on national television gossiping about celebrities and their personal lives. Talk about hypocrisy.
For sure, it would be very problematic if I was consuming billions of dollars a year in personal consumption. But that is not the case. In fact, I don't even own a home right now. I'm literally staying at friends' places. If I travel to the Bay Area, where most of Tesla engineering is, I stay in I basically rotate through friends' spare bedrooms. I don't have a yacht. I really don't take vacations. It's not as though there's that my personal consumption is high.
It's almost as if Behar's monologue had no self-awareness at all. Criticizing a billionaire for bringing his child to an event while you sit on a show dedicated to celebrity gossip is a strange choice. Behar's comments, rather than shedding light on anything substantive, only made her seem out of touch and hypocritical. In the court of public opinion, that's never a good look.
We were talking about President Biden's farewell address to the nation, where he spoke about the half-century of service he's leaving behind and gave warning to Americans about the future. Take a look.
Today,
An oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence that literally threatens our entire democracy. The powerful forces want to wield their unchecked influence to eliminate the steps we've taken to tackle the climate crisis, to serve their own interest for power and profit. Americans are being buried under an avalanche of misinformation and disinformation, enabling the abuse of power. The free press is crumbling. Editors are disappearing. Social media.
As the comments continued to flood in, it became clear that Whoopi and Joy had overstepped. Critics from both sides of the political spectrum were calling them out. Even those who typically don't side with Elon Musk were left wondering, was this really necessary? Mocking a 4-year-old child is low, even for the hosts of The View. This wasn't just a simple slip-up. It was a moment of bad judgment that could have long-term consequences for the show.
Already. I miss him. He's a good person. You know, he spent the last 50 years caring about the country. This other one spent 50 years scamming everybody, you know, and trying to stay out of jail. You know who I'm talking about. You know, I really miss Biden. I feel like we were safe. Like, I didn't have to worry. Was everything going to blow up? Well, I could live my life while he was there. Now, every day I wake up and I worry, what is this guy going to do next? Yeah. And these oligarchs, can I just say one more thing and then I'll shut up?
No. You don't have to shut up.
They need to start shelling their money out. These guys, Bezos and what's his name? Musk, they give it to Trump. Yeah. Do they think that they're going to live forever, these people? You know.
Musk's supporters rallied around him, but it wasn't just about Elon. People from all walks of life, regardless of their feelings toward him, recognize that taking shots at children, especially in such a public forum, is crossing a serious line. And when you've got millions of people in your corner, you can bet the pressure will start to mount on the media network that allowed this to happen.
But how do you make a choice? You don't see, I mean, in terms of when you're going to engage. I mean, for example, even today, Elon, you tweeted this thing about George Soros. Well, I'm looking for it because I want to make sure I quote it properly. But, I mean, you know what you wrote. But you basically...
I said it reminds me of Magneto. This is like, you know, calm down, people. This is not like made a federal case out of it.
You also... you said he wants to erode the very fabric of civilization, and Soros hates humanity. Like, when you do something like that, do you
I think that's true. That's my opinion.
Okay, but why share it? Why share it? Especially, I mean, why share it when people who buy Teslas may not agree with you, advertisers on Twitter may not agree with you? Why not just say, hey, I think this, you can tell me.
Now with the public outrage reaching fever pitch, the big question on everyone's mind is, will Elon Musk take legal action? Musk has already shown that he's not afraid to take on companies, celebrities, or anyone who crosses him. From his fight over Twitter's policies to his public disputes with other tech giants, Musk has a reputation for not backing down. So when a major TV show mocks his child, don't be surprised if he takes it to court. But whether Musk chooses to pursue legal action or not, one thing is clear. The View has found itself in hot water. Legal consequences aside, this entire debacle is already shaking the foundation of the show. Musk's influence in the media landscape cannot be underestimated, and if he wants to make an example out of them, it's entirely within his power.
If you don't have freedom of speech, you don't have democracy. Okay, because if you don't have freedom of speech, people cannot make an informed vote. If they're just being fed propaganda, and there's no freedom of speech, democracy is an illusion. So freedom of speech is the bedrock of democracy. That's why freedom of speech is the First Amendment. Once you lose freedom of speech, you lose democracy. Game over. That's why I bought Twitter.
Elon Musk controls the narrative in ways few others can. With his power over Twitter, he has the ability to make or break media narratives at will. After The View's host insulted his son, Musk took to the platform, and within minutes, the entire situation was trending worldwide. What started as a casual comment turned into an all-out viral event, and Musk's influence played a huge role in amplifying the backlash. Social media has given individuals like Musk a weapon to fight back against mainstream media. Where once only corporate-controlled outlets held the power to shape public discourse, now people like Musk can take control of the conversation and mobilize millions of people behind them. If The View thought they could get away with this without consequences, they were wrong. Musk's army of followers made sure their voices were heard loud and clear.
I put up with it.
Well,
and by the way,
yeah.
egg prices are supposed to come down, not airplanes.
Well, let me say someplace that could really use a lot of cutting. You know, yeah. Elon has very many, what do you call it?
Government contracts?
contracts.
Yeah.
I think, because I don't remember, maybe y'all heard it, but I don't remember looking for an armored car.
And
I don't remember, I don't care what it looks like. I don't remember asking for it. I don't know why I'm paying for it.
Yeah.
I want to know, when did I say, hey, we need another agency next to NASA?
Yeah.
So when did we start paying for?
As the pressure continues to mount, the question remains, will The View apologize? At this point, it's unclear whether the hosts and producers are ready to take responsibility for the comments they made. In the world of daytime TV, apologies are often the first step in damage control, but it's hard to imagine an apology from Whoopi and Joy coming without feeling forced.
Problematic if I was consuming, billions of dollars a year in personal consumption, but that is not the case. In fact, I don't even own a home right now. I'm literally staying at friends' places. If I travel to the Bay Area, where most of Tesla engineering is, I stay in I basically rotate through friends' spare bedrooms. I don't have a yacht. I really don't take vacations. It's not as though there's that my personal consumption is high. The one exception is a plane. But if I don't use the plane, then I have less hours to work.
The real issue here is the precedent it sets. If The View's hosts are allowed to mock a child with no repercussions, what kind of message does that send? And even if they apologize, will it be enough to salvage their reputation? With the hashtag #CancelTheView trending and public sentiment turning against them, they might find it's not so easy to recover from this scandal.
I put up with it.
Well,
and by the way, egg prices are supposed to come down, not airplanes.
Well, let me say someplace that could really use a lot of cutting. You know, yeah. Elon has very many, what do you call it?
Government contracts?
Yeah. I think, because I don't remember, maybe y'all heard it, but I don't remember looking for an armored car. And I don't remember, I don't care what it looks like. I don't remember asking for it. I don't know why I'm paying for it.
The final question everyone is asking is whether The View can survive this scandal. With major advertisers reconsidering their partnerships and public outrage growing, this could be the moment that brings the show down. Elon Musk has the power to make sure this controversy isn't just a fleeting headline, it could be the beginning of the end for the iconic talk show. The reality is, The View has built its brand on stirring the pot and creating drama, but mocking children crosses a line that many people just won't forgive. With the media landscape shifting and audiences becoming more vocal, it's unclear whether The View can come back from this unscathed. As the dust continues to settle, opinions are split. Musk's supporters are firm in their belief that the hosts of The View should face consequences for their actions. But on the flip side, some believe Musk is using the situation to rally his base and attack the media establishment. Is this a genuine moral outrage, or is it just another way for Musk to fight the woke media? It's a question that will likely continue to divide public opinion. For those who side with Musk, this is a matter of standing up for family, respect, and decency. For others, it's about calling out the hypocrisy of a media elite that doesn't seem to have any limits on their behavior. Regardless of where you stand, one thing is certain: this controversy isn't going away anytime soon. So, what's next? Will Elon Musk press charges or just continue to use his platform to make his case? Will The View issue an apology or double down on their comments? The future of this controversy is still unclear, but one thing is for sure: it's far from over. Musk has the power to keep this conversation going, and The View might just be facing their biggest challenge yet. What do you think? Is Elon Musk right to call out Whoopi and the others? Or did he overreact? Will The View survive this, or will this be the scandal that brings it down? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on this story.